All right, guys, welcome back to another video. So tonight I'm going to be trying to put on the new belt onto my 2005 Toyota Camry. It's the serpentine belt, so I'm going to see if I'm going to be able to put it on by myself, but it's new. So this is the old one, actually, this one in the front, and I'm going to see if I can put it on by myself, but I doubt it, so let's find out. Okay guys, so this is what I'll be using to put the belt back on. This I believe it's a 17-inch breaker bar that I got from Harbor Freight with a 19mm socket. So this should be for the tensioner bolt. This is my new belt right here. Let me show you guys the brand. It's by Bando. It's made in Japan. And the old one that I had on was by Continental. So hopefully this new one works good. I'll put the belt diagram up here for the 2005 Toyota Camry 2.4 liter 2-way ZFE. So this should be the belt diagram, or for the serpentine belt. So I'm gonna try to put it on by myself using just the short breaker bar and see if I can do it, but I kind of doubt it, but I guess we'll find out right now. Okay guys, I put the belt back on. Surprisingly, I really didn't think I was going to be able to do it by myself, but I did it. Now that that's back on, I reinstalled the reservoir, filled it up with distilled water. Now I'm filling up the radiator with distilled water. I'm using this no spill coolant filling funnel kit. It's actually really handy because you can fill this up, and then once it's pretty much full, once the radiator's full, you can turn on the car, and then it'll suck in whatever's missing, and you can fill it up. So, and then you can burp it, I guess, or you can get rid of the air bubbles with using this. And yeah, so once I put some more coolant in, or distilled water, I'll put the battery back on, and I think that's all it needs. I should be able to restart the car without any issues, and hopefully it doesn't leak. But unfortunately, as soon as I put water into the radiator, it started to leak from the contact points on the housing and the engine. Fortunately, I was able to put my belt back on, but the housing is still leaking. So it could be because of three things, I think. Either one, I didn't clean the contact points correctly, and there's like something in between that will cause a leak. Or two, I did it while it was wet. As you can see, I still haven't cleaned out the coolant completely, or at least the distilled water I had in there. And three, I could have tightened the housing too tight. So I'm gonna dry the area, clean the surface, and double check the housings and make sure that they're not bent. And then also I'll put some sealant, some gasket sealant, just to help with the seal, but we'll see. So I bought three things from O'Reilly's. I bought some brake cleaner, a new thermostat, and some gasket maker. Hopefully one of these three things fixes the leak on the 2005 Camry. First, I'll make sure that the surface areas, or the meeting points for the thermostat housing and the block, are clean. Because from what I read online, any debris in between will cause a leak. So hopefully this fixes it. If not, I have some acetone and some purple power at home to make sure that the area is clean. If not, I'll use a new thermostat just in case for whatever reason I maybe damaged the old one or the other one. And in case I don't use it, I'll use, hopefully it can fit on the 2001 Camry, but I'm not too sure, honestly. And my third option, my last resort, will be this Permatex water pump and thermostat housing gasket maker. Hopefully I don't have to use this, but in case I do, I'll apply a thin coating and let it cure overnight. And then tomorrow I'll see if it leaks or not. Alright guys, so this is what I have to clean the surface area. Some rags, some brake cleaner, some acetone, and some purple power. I wanted to use all three of these just to make sure that the surface area is clean and dry. And then once I do that, I got these a new thermostat and a new seal just to make sure that it doesn't leak from these two. These are the old ones over here. This is the very first one I took out, and this is the one I replaced it with. But just in case that the seal's messed up or the thermostat is, I got these two. A card to clean the surface area, And just in case, I'll use a layer of this just to help with the seal, and hopefully this fixes a leak. Alright guys, I just dried the area, so now, and cleaned it. Now I'm gonna put the seal on the thermostat. So hopefully I don't bend it too much or damage it. So let's put it on. Alright guys, just installed the new thermostat and the seal. So let's put the housing onto this lower radiator hose. And actually, I'll be putting on the housing onto the engine first with some sealant. So let's put some sealant on here, and yeah, let's tighten it up. All right guys, so I just finished tightening up the housing, the thermostat housing. Like I said, I put some sealant on it. I put some of this water pump thermostat housing gasket maker. This is the old thermostat housing, but I just wanted to show you guys. I got just a dab of it on my finger with some gloves on, and I just spread it around the surface area of the new thermostat housing, just like this. Just spread it around like a thin layer, and then I tightened it up. I read online with some forums saying that you should just tighten it up enough for it to be snug, and then let it cure overnight, and then tighten it up a little bit more the next day. I may have tightened it up a little bit too much, so tomorrow I'm gonna try to tighten it a little bit more, not too much, and see if it tightens up a little bit more. But if not, hopefully it fixes the leak. All right guys, so as you can see, I finally turned on the car. It seems like the thermostat housing is not leaking after I let it cure overnight with gasket sealant. So everything seems okay so far. As you can see, I have the no spill funnel kit hooked up, and I filled up the radiator, turned on the car, and it sucked in some coolant, let some air bubbles out. But the fans haven't turned on yet. From what the internet says, you have to wait for the fans to turn on, off, and then on and off twice, or 2 cycles pretty much, and that'll signify that the thermostat has opened and closed. So yeah, once I see 2 cycles, then I'll turn off the car, and then I'll try to go for a drive maybe. Or if not, I'll look up whether or not I should burp it again. So we'll see. But so far so good. The best part being that the thermostat housing hasn't leaked, so that's great. But let's see if it doesn't leak today or tomorrow or in the future. So let's find out. I wanted to end off the video here and just recap everything. So in the past videos, I was talking about how thermostat housing was leaking. I took it apart a bunch of times and still it kept leaking, so I finally cleaned the surface areas, put new studs, new bolts, thermostat housing, thermostat seal, put distilled water into the system, drove the car, didn't leak, burped the system before I drove the car, and still no leak, so great. New belt, cleaned up the alternator, cleaned up pretty much the whole engine, I guess. And I got a new light, I don't know if you can tell, it's a lot brighter. And bought some coolant over here to replace it with, some Peak Original Tech, Equipment Tech, whatever. Gonna make my own 50/50 out of it. And yeah, in the next video I'll show you guys if it leaks or not, and hopefully it doesn't leak, and then I'll just keep draining and filling with some 50/50 until I finally get 50/50 in the actual system. I gotta probably look up how many times I gotta do that. I know I'm probably gonna be spending money on more antifreeze, but I think it's okay. I don't mind. I'll keep you guys updated. If you guys don't mind subscribing, that'll definitely help. Any comments, suggestions, advice, and thank you for watching.